Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
You want to have a fun exercise where you stand up real quick?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, we're worried about Rob thrashing under the bed might have caused the bed to become unstable.
He seems so resilient.
Some of the middle structure legs are kind of warping to the side. I don't want him to get smashed to pieces.
Are you kidding? On IKEA furniture?
That would
Come
be
on.
a fucking crazy way for Rob to have died.
It would be very fitting, I think.
It would be a horrible way for him to die, but it would be the best way for your friend to have died. Like, oh, how'd your friend die? I crushed him.
Oh, crushed him.
I crushed him.
How you doing?
Okay. Hey, Dan, it's not really my place to say this, but...
We had 3 endings that we passed. In answer to your question.
Yeah.
Never let a guest make you get out of bed.
No, okay. See?
This is gonna.
How are you?
Everything just changed.
I wish I knew these tips. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the game master. He's not really a guest. He's like kind of a permanent resident.
I like to think of myself as a guest because it gives me more clout.
I meant the gentleman actually under your bed, but I see what you're saying.
Oh,
I like to think of Rob as a guest.
I don't even know what he is. He is
the Hamburglar.
He's a ward of the podcast.
I just started showing up, and they felt sorry for me.
All right. Well, I think the answer to my own question is there's a little bit of format needed so that we were playing D&D and we'd know, okay, well then we're going to end the show with D&D, but. It's...
You missed that, Spencer? Those were the days, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a really structure-driven person, so I just crave it. I'm like a vine. I need one of those trellises. Otherwise, I'll just trip everybody.
Do you ever bring a D&D game that you wrote anyway, even though he says we don't do that anymore? Even though he says we don't do Shadowrun anymore?
Yeah, I still bring it. I bring a session for every game we've abandoned. And I bring a Balderdash. It's good, but it doesn't often come up. But I like to be prepared.
You're 17 episodes into your NPR remote piece about getting the permits.
Oh yeah. No, I've done all that stuff. We didn't play a single one of those.
I think
I prepare. Well, we do 2 hours, so I prepare 6 hours for every show we do. Most of it doesn't matter, but I do commit.
Does that bother you at all? Because you do all that, and Dan went out and bought some eggs.
Yeah,
no,
I did buy those.
And you got the eggs too.
Yeah,
it was part of it. He was like, "We're gonna need some eggs on the show." No, I love it. I appreciate it. I like not having to do the work that I did.
Right. Does anything bother you about the whole setup? You can say no.
I think the bed's a little loud.
Right.
It's a bit garish.
Like color-wise, or just...
I like muted
I think it
colors.
needs like an inch
muted
more
palettes.
underneath.
I could have used it to be like 3 times ricketier.
If you go down there and look at the 3 little posts that are holding up the center of this bed, it's not structurally.
Yeah, you'd think a grown man was thrashing around while someone was like laying on it.
It looks really shaky. I was really worried that Rob was actually just going to get demolished.
Well, he was warping it pretty intensely while he was under it.
Do you guys want to play high-low?
Oh, what's that?
Wait.
That's where.
How do you play that?
It's like red light, green light.
Sure, but
Sure.
different.
Yeah.
Well, how do you play it?
Okay, you say
Isn't that funny? Because I will not agree to it until I know how to play it. First, take your dick out. I'm glad I said.
Yeah, this is right.
What's the rules?
See, I knew it.
the simplest version is you say the high of the day and your low of the day. We expanded a little to say what the lesson is of the low and what you're grateful for, but we can start with just high-low. What's the high of the day? What's the low of the day?
That sounds like a show closer. I like that.
I think the high of the day for me was Rob being hilarious and under the bed.
And what was your low?
What was my low? I just been kind of in a, like, I can't turn on the news kind of depression. And so watching Twitter freak out about Michelle Wolf,
yeah.
you know, and all that stuff. And
Feeling the pressure that you have to catch up with it.
what is it? Does that? It's just like, it's like, oh, come on! Like we have a fucking rapey, racist fuckface And that's our fucking issue, is that a woman made a funny ass joke that if you can't take it, then we're the bad guys. So yeah, I just got into a mild. The world is full of bullshit spiral today.
And what do you do when that happens? How do you get out of it? You put on a suit?
I took a nap and put a suit on.
Okay, that's nice.
A suit actually kind of makes up for lots of sadness.
Spencer?
More things, yes. He comes in with a 5-piece suit. Like, oh, rough day.
If you ever see me with an 11-piece suit, that means I have face shingles.
There's a tie on the back. It's everything.
All right, what's yours? Let's go down the line.
Go
here.
down. Let's say my high is being here. It's very exciting.
Nice.
And the low is, for a split second, I thought Rob would die, but then he started thrashing the
There
bed.
was a moment there I thought we might have committed a horrible crime there.
Yeah.
No, so her high was
No,
being on this show, and look what you did for the whole show. You caused her low.
I caused her low. I'm sorry.
That's actually my low. Was I told a rape joke earlier, and I can't tell if it was appropriate or not, but I went for it.
It's hard these days.
It is.
Back in the old
can
days,
you
it
say?
was so safe.
I made this space not
Did you tell
safe.
it
No.
Just, like in person to people, or
it
did you
was
tell
on
it?
It was
this
on the
show.
show.
Oh,
Don't you
here
remember?
You were here
Jeff
and not
loves it.
disgusted at all.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. That was also my low.
Keith Malley?
My high would be being a resident of Harmontown for a minute. My low is the poor homeless person that's going to come across his bed and be so excited, and then lay in it for a second and it breaks and he has shingles. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough day. That's the day you put on a couple suits and he will.
Yeah.
Schraub, high low.
My high was having lunch with Kate. We watched this on. Have you seen this on Netflix? The Chef's Table. Have you seen the?
Not yet.
There's like an episode about like how this is how we got interested in going to a Buddhist temple. But there was like this Buddhist woman chef who was like talking about like how to eat and preparing food and the thing that we've been trying lately is eating
Blue
in
Apron.
silence and like taking a bite, putting your spoon or fork down and chewing it and being present and feeling the food in your mouth. And because like usually people are like eating while they're watching TV or checking their email or multitasking or whatever. You're not really, and you're just shoving food in your mouth.
Have you read the
constantly.
Celestine Prophecy?
What's that?
The Celestine Prophecy.
Say again?
Have you read the Celestine Prophecy?
No, I
I
haven't.
guess no.
No.
Well, because they talk about
The
that.
Celestine Prophecy.
Yeah. But it is like that. It's just being very mindful and present. And,
Wait, is it prophecies?
and
I don't know.
I've found by doing that the food that I'm eating tastes better, and I'm more satisfied, and I have like this more. And it's just it's a great time of the day.
Not for the waiter. That is a pain in the ass.
Well, we made our own food at home, but then the
Blue Apron. They provide you the ingredients.
and the low point was
I'm having the chicken fried cucasine with raisin bread barnases.
my low point is Dan interrupting me.
Dan, high low.
My low point was saying goodbye to Cody before she had to go, and I knew I'd come to the show, and like she can't stay over tonight because she's got work in the morning, and who knows if we'll see each other tomorrow. So I was like, it's at the end of a weekend, me having to come do this show. No offense to the people that enjoy it, although I don't understand your enjoyment for the last few episodes, but it's just like traditionally Sunday nights before I come here are kind of a low because I'm like, weekend's over and like no more sleepovers with Cody. And we kind of wasted our time together. Sometimes I feel like if we tried to watch that Hugh Jackman P.T. Barnum musical, and I was like,
Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman's playing Barnum.
yeah, it's.
I was in that play when I was a kid.
And my high for real was just now when you guys started with your lows. My high was realizing that because I went off of Twitter when I got the shingles, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna think this Michelle Wolf thing, I don't even know who that is. What happened? I know it sounds like totally aggravating and upsetting, and I totally have no clue about it. And it's not like not knowing about the polar ice caps. It's like sounds like it's not knowing about some shit that's like just kind of
that you can avoid.
Yeah, like it sounds like I wasn't going to help that subject. It was only going to make me upset, you know? So I kind of feel like dodged a bullet kind of high, get off that. I'm like, wow, that encourages me to stay off of Twitter
The people
longer.
who invented the word snowflakes got really hurt by a woman doing a joke about makeup, and everybody really went off the fucking handle.
We're going to make you know anyway what this world's like.
No, it's kind of like, I mean, I don't mind hearing all about the bullet I dodged. It's like, oh yeah, it was like a 22 with
I mean, also that can't really be my low. I think that was just, I think my low is being in a place where that was affecting me. Like it's like there's something lower than that makes that even a thing that is on my radar.
Well, my new low is this having to be witness to this low backpedaling. I don't like this low, like finding out that lows
Can
are.
I change my low? That my low is this awful, horrible fake ficus that's behind you. This stricken.
I thought you were going to say like this fern on your forehead, like it's going to start
Wait,
like shingle shaming me.
I like that your low isn't even your shingles, so that you have other lows.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. I had shingles with it, and it should either be that my high is that they're kind of like done, you know, like I had kind of a pain-free day.
I might be imagining this, but they look less red than when the show started. I think you're actually healing as we watch.
Well, he's been passing them off.
The irony is that
the rest of your face is
you
catching
want to
up.
see them get scabbier like that. That's good news. Like when the scabbier they get.
Just don't pick them. You'll get a scar.
I wasn't going to pick the
Just
fucking
don't pick
herpes
them,
scabs.
you'll get a
Just don't pick at it.
Just don't
because
worry him to death.
You gotta. If you start picking at it,
Take
you're
care
gonna get
of
a
it.
scar.
Also,
I'm
my
not
low is also
3, and it's not on my
Demorge-
knee.
Demorge
It's a fucking
keeps napping
herpes scar on
during
my
our
head. It
show.
hurts to.
Right.
Dan,
Just don't
let him
pick
do
at
it.
it.
Dan, you're not concerned that Demorge has been sleeping?
He has every right to sleep.
It's a
Dan's in a
boring
bed.
show.
Works hard.
What do you want Demorge to do?
He's taking it in.
Give him the bed.
No.
Oh yeah, sure, okay.
Demorge, you want to get up
climb
here
in.
and crawl in the bed? Get some of that Harmon shingle?
Rob's kind of in it.
If you share a good high low in the bed, you can close the show unless
Do I
Spencer.
have to go underneath the bed again?
Church, you had
Yeah.
a church.
We
had a
didn't
big
hear
load
from
today.
Spencer.
What?
Hello.
Spencer high low.
Oh,
High as it looked like I could do fucking Dungeons and Dragons again.
I'm high as a kite, my man. And my low is just the rest of existence, I think.
Fair enough.
It's rough.
You got high-low roaded, Dan.
Yeah, Dan, fucking stick it to that.
The
with
only
my
problem I have
answers.
with high low is that you no matter what you're ending on a low. And there's no way it's going to close the show.
Yeah, we should have
That's
put
why
low
we
high.
added a what did you learn from the low and what are you grateful for?
Oh right.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have played "You Guys Go Last" because you probably use it to close your shows and are good at making them good.
And I'm a piece
What are
of
you
shit.
doing? You're like a fucking cat. God damn it.
Stop it.
He fucking read it was so sad. He like I got a tweet in my timeline back when I was on Twitter and it said it was a guy saying like I think you should bring Rob to Boston and it said above it Rob Schraub retweeted because that's why I was in my timeline and then you follow the eyeline. I was like 3 retweets and you know that one of them is Rob.
Yeah.
By the way, I like all his talking about not being on Twitter anymore. That was yesterday, Dan.
It was like 2 days ago.
Okay.
That's a long time for a Twitter junkie. That's like
Baby steps, one
Yeah.
day at a time. Did you
Yeah.
get your chip?
yeah. I deserve a big old chip for
He ate his
not
chip.
knowing who Michelle Wolf is.